Good morning. I'm very happy to be here with you at this very important event for capital market in Romania, and I want to congratulate ARIR for this initiative. This is an event which is very important considering the need for a permanent dialogue between investors and issuers on the capital market so that they are permanently up to date with the new developments and requirements imposed by the legislation and the regulation framework. My speech shall be dedicated to the new legislative initiatives which have been issued at the level of the European Union and which must be transposed into national legislation in the near future. As you know, SFE has had several initiatives and it has also had the role of leader for project with the purpose of implementing the best corporate standards, governance standards, and the best practices on the capital market in Romania. And I want to begin with Law 24 per 2017, which structured everything related to the legislation for issuers. We believe that it was a law whose fruits can be seen these days with respect to the requirements for reporting, which are the most important for investors, and also with respect to the requirements for IPOs for new issuers. This year, new regulations shall enter into force, some of them with direct application, and others will need transposition in the national framework. And I'm referring to the regulation on prospects, whose term will be July 2017. Its provisions have already entered into force, and probably the directive, which is most interesting for issuers, which is the directive on the rights of shareholders, whose transposition term is July this year. ASEF has also initiated the draft law which seeks to transpose the directive for the shareholders' rights. It was sent to the Ministry of Public Finance, given that this is the authority who has the right to initiate laws in Romania. We hope that next week I have called the Minister of Public Finance to ask about the status of this law. Currently, it must be approved by the minister, and probably it will be published on the website of the Minister of Public Finance in order for you to know its provisions, and why not, to the extent you may also propose observations. So this is the way public projects are debated publicly in order to inform the entities on the regulation aspect which shall enter into force in the near future. And they also give the possibility to react, to offer them the possibility to react if there are certain aspects which must be more explicit or presented more clearer. Besides these initiatives, these legislative initiatives, a very important initiative is the regulation which shall be adopted by the European Commission. It was issued based on the directive on transparency, and this regulation establishes a unique electronic format at the European level with respect to annual reportings of issuers whose shares are admitted for dealings. This format shall enter into force in 2020 and shall be enforced by the companies admitted for dealings. At the level of the surveillance authority, financial surveillance authority, we shall also will have to prepare modifications with respect to the IT systems so that the issuers would be able to supply reports in the required format. The initiatives we have carried out so far, we have carried out successfully so far, have been in order to support you and in order to try to apply all these legislative modification in a way that would not bring an additional burden. So we are open with respect to any need in order for you to better understand your obligations once this regulation enters into force. Thank you again for your invitation. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them in a few minutes. We have a few dedicated minutes for this. Given that I will not be able to take part further on because today there's also the event organized by the Authority of Financial Supervision regarding to the reunion of the competent authorities in European Union. So both events take place at the same time. That's why the chairman could not take part in this event. Thank you again, and I wish you all a very successful activity, and I hope that this event will bring added value and all the information you think you must know, and all the questions and answers for all the questions today. Thank you.